Have you ever heard the term geriatric millennial?
No, this is new to me within the last week also, yeah.
Well, I think it's a new term alert. So what they're saying is if you were born between 1980 and 1985, which Matt and I are both on like the top end of that, you are a geriatric millennial, meaning you're good with computers, but you also remember what it was like before everyone was glued to their phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that sounds about right.
Isn't there a nicer name than geriatric millennial? This makes it sound like millennial in diapers or...
Right. Yeah, you should be walking with a hand on your lower back.
Right?
With a cane or a walker with tennis balls on the bottom of it.
Geriatric millennial. I don't hear anybody saying geriatric boomer or geriatric Gen Xer.
It's implied with the boomers.
It's implied. Everybody knows that, Kate.
Okay, boomer. Got you.
What's the age group before us, Matt? Like 70 to 80.
Generation X.
That's Generation X.
Yes.
Okay. And so there's the millennials and then there's Generation Y. What's the order?
No, then it's Gen Z because millennials would be Gen Y.
I'm so confused. Is there not... Okay.
Yeah, because Y comes after X.
Right.
Instead of calling us Generation Y, they called us millennials because the whole idea was you're a millennial because you came to age around the turn of the century.
Okay.
Now looking up generations.
So we're both millennials and Gen X?
No.
Or Gen Y?
Well, a lot of the definitions seems like they kind of change.
I feel like you're right. There's no... But still, if somebody goes, well, what are you? And I'm like, I'm a geriatric millennial. No. I'm a kid at heart, you guys. I'm not geriatric. I'm not old. I feel old, but no. There's boomer, and then there's a blank space for me. And then there's...
And I'll write your name.
Yeah, okay, so boomers, how far do boomers go? 50 to 60? 50 to 70?
I'm pulling it up now. I'm trying to pull up here on Wikipedia.
That makes me feel better that you're not rattling this information off the top of your head like these are things I should know.
Yeah, so if you're going to go with the Wikipedia deal here, okay. I'll just share the entire little timeline they have. Lost generation is 1883 to 1900. The greatest generation is 1901 to 1927, these being birth years.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people know the greatest generation, the generation that served in World War II.
Was it called that before the Tom Brokaw book?
I think so.
Okay.
Then we have the silent generation, 1928 to 1945. Boomers, 46 to 64. Gen X, 65 to 80. Millennials, 81 to 96. Gen Z, 97 to 2012. And Generation Alpha, Kate, early 2010s to mid-2020s. So less willing to commit to an actual year on those Gen Alphas. And you get it because after Gen Z, you would then go to the Greek alphabet.
Yeah.
So there you go, Kate.
That's so weird. Thanks, Matt.
What do you mean? It's so weird.
I mean that some of them are, the span is 20 years. Some of the span is 15 years. Some of the span, you know what I mean? It's not a set time that 1900 to 1920 is the greatest generation. 1920 to 1940 is...
Yeah, for a while it was. Like, okay, so the greatest generation they have as a 26-year period of time. That's a fair point.
Right.
But more recently, it looks like they're 15 years periods of time. So Gen Z being 97 to 2012. Millennials, 81 to 96. Gen X, similar pattern, 65 to 80. And then Boomers being an 18-year span. So good point, but it seems like they're starting to settle on maybe a 15-year time period. I don't know. It's just weird because both my brothers then are Gen X, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm the same generation of children in my family, you know, as a result. So myself an aneurysm thinking about this.
Psst. Yeah, don't do that.
That's my sound effect for aneurysm.
An aneurysm?
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I don't understand it.
Psst. It's like a blood vessel bursting or something in my brain. I don't know. I don't know enough about aneurysms.
I don't know either, but I expect a bigger sound effect. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going.
Okay. Or
that's a good one, Matt.
What's the one that you do much better than I do? There you go. That's what an aneurysm sounds like. Thanks, Kate.
No, I liked the first one, though.
Yeah.
We have too much fun making noises on this show. I'm sorry. Kind of.
I'm not. At all.
Kind of. Matt, remember when we talked about that gal who faked her ex-husband's funeral?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the moon landing. No.
Is that going to open a big can of worms?
Probably. No, the moon landing clearly happened, and you can actually see the items that we left on the moon. Not with your naked eye. But to be clear, the official position of Matt and Kate is that the moon landing is real.
I'm so glad.
I'm not speaking out of turn, am I, Kate?
I don't think so. No, I was afraid you were.
You're with me on that?
I'm with you.
All right, so some woman faked something. Is that what you said?
A woman faked her ex-husband's funeral to convince his mistress that he was dead, even though he went to prison. Do you remember that?
Yeah, is there an update on it?
No, but there is another woman on TikTok who's going viral because is she clever or is she crazy? She staged a fake wedding 3 months after she broke up with her boyfriend, posting the photos to make him jealous. Some people saying, hey, that's pretty clever on the comments, and some are just saying it's super crazy. I just don't understand the end game here. Like, what was she hoping? Like, she wants to make him jealous, but is she hoping that he's going to try to win her back so she can have a fake divorce from her fake husband? Like, what's the end game here?
My biggest question is, are you subscribed to like Mistress Monthly or something? What's going on with all these Mistress stories lately? And
no, it's clever or crazy TikToks. That's what I'm getting.
Both these are TikTok items?
Yes.
Oh man, you're all over TikTok, huh?
I'm not. These are that people send to me. Is this clever or is this crazy?
Oh, okay.
I'm not on TikTok. Yeah. My sister sends me TikToks.
Oh, you have other people that do TikTok for you. That's great. You know,
yeah.
Oh, and I've mentioned before on Facebook, I just basically use that to manage our the Matt and Kate page as well as the KJ1055 page, but I stay out of the feed because I don't want to learn depressing things about friends and family or whatever.
Right.
And then I count on other friends to be able to fill me in on exactly what's going on.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, they can be my Facebook person. So for you, this is your TikTok person helping you be TikToked without being on the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that TikTok, I know why it's a rabbit hole, because every now and then I'll get one that you can see other TikToks and all I do is just scroll and I'm like, I got to stop now.
Oh, yeah. That's how they get you.
That's how they get me. But I just don't understand. Like she bought a wedding dress. She has a picture of her bridesmaid in like a, reception hall. She's got a groom that she hired. She had her hair and makeup done.
God.
Like this is much like the funeral. I want to know how much was spent for this, fake wedding. And I want to know like what happened. Did he try to win her back? Did she say, no, me and my fake husband? Like, how do you keep posting pictures on your Instagram with your fake husband if you have to like hire him once a month to take like candid pictures?
Can't you just dump someone and move on? Not you, but can't one just dump someone and move on? Or are you going to make some kind of big, elaborate embarrassment thing for them that consumes your life? It sounds like that'd be life-consuming, planning all that stuff.
I would think that would take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And money and effort.
It's like, yeah, instead of getting married, actually, I'm going to spend all these steps that it takes to get married and not end up married, just to prove a point.
And not end up married.
Okay.
Just to make you jealous.
Well, yeah.
So are you going to go with clever or are you going to go with crazy on this one?
I'm going to go with stupid. Oh, that wasn't an option.
Yeah, no. But I get you.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm not going to give that any clever points. Nope. Not today, ladies.
Not today.
All right, Kate. So I was downtown the other day, downtown St. Joe.
Yeah.
And saw the old signal removal study underway. And so that means they've been removing traffic signals and then studying the results.
Oh.
And so I posted to the Keijo Facebook, how are we feeling about signal removal studies these days? And it turns out most people not fans. In fact, specifically, Libby wrote not a fan. Right? Then we have from Kim, downtown is a mess to drive through. I try to avoid when I can. Mike says, just another brain fart our leaders decided to do. Tracy says, I don't like it. Nick says, the biggest issue is the white lines are after the stop sign. So when you stop at the line, you can't see the sign. And the intersections change every other month, so you never know. Michelle says, it sucks. You have to stop at every intersection downtown now. Kenny says, dumbest thing in the world.
Ooh.
To which Rick responded, yes, sir, it is. Steve writes, originally I thought it was a good idea, but I'm not liking it at all. Tina says, I knew it was going to be a mistake from the beginning. Now you have people who don't even come to a complete stop and those who don't know how to take turns. Tammy, work downtown. It's a real pain. Stop fixing things that are not broken. Heather writes, I work downtown. It's scary crossing the intersections, walking and also in the car. You don't know if the car coming in the opposite direction is going to stop. Also, this winter, when the streets aren't clean like normal, there's going to be a lot of cars getting stuck because you have to stop at every corner now. Sherilyn writes, you're killing downtown. Evan writes, I'm not saying I know exactly what the answer is, but whatever is happening now is a real problem. Though, clear direction, labeling, sightlines, and a degree of consistency would go a long way. Oh, man. And then it goes on from there. There's
wow, hot topic.
10 more. Yeah, so when I first saw these signs downtown, traffic, now you can see the photo, but I shared this one the other day. You can see these downtown. You'll see the stoplight, and you're like, why is that stoplight red, and why is that one turned off? And you'll see the sign, signal removal study underway. And if you're like, I'm downtown, now I'm sitting here, and there's no one else around. I'm just sitting here. I'm a big fan of roundabouts. What do you think, Kate? You like roundabouts?
I like roundabouts when people know how to drive in roundabouts.
And the only way people are going to learn how to drive around in roundabouts is if they actually experience them and run into them from time to time.
That's true, but if people experience them not knowing and keep doing the same stupid mistakes.
Ooh.
I know. I get really annoyed at roundabouts, and I get really annoyed at four-way stops. I don't understand how people haven't mastered four-way stops yet.
Oh, the roundabout. To me, it's when I encounter a four-way stop and I look around like this intersection could easily accommodate a traffic circle in which traffic actually moves more efficiently.
Right.
And fewer accidents actually happen.
Right.
So
I like roundabouts, but when you have too many people resisting either learning how or just going about their business like they own the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'm not sure. I mean, there's the surface area. I mean, the intersections downtown, I think most of them are big enough to accommodate a traffic circle, but you still got to do quite a bit of construction. It's far easier just to put up a stop sign and turn off a traffic light than it is to plop down a roundabout. And I imagine many people right now are like, what are you talking about? Roundabouts are a good thing. Many listeners right now are, would you shut up? Giving the city ideas here?
Would you think that the survey that's going on right now, is that to help pedestrians or is that to help motorists?
Oh, see, I feel like I should know this. I feel like I should be educated enough, but now I've got to guess and potentially sound like a fool.
Well, I'm asking you to speculate. Have they said it's for? I assume that they haven't
That's exactly
said.
what I'm saying is I don't know.
I don't know that that's information that they always release. They just say, we're doing this.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't attend that city council meeting.
Yeah.
Or whatever group decided to do this or not. Oftentimes it is. I mean, sheesh.
Because when you were reading those comments, at first I thought it's all for the pedestrians. But then when I can't remember who you said it, she said it's scary crossing the street. And I thought, ooh, that's not good.
Right. Yeah, because dead pedestrian's kind of a bummer.
It's more than a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a dead pedestrian, Matt.
Another bold stance that you'll only hear on Matt and Kate.
Even if you were going to see dead pedestrians at the Bottleneck this weekend.
Yeah. Turns out their tour that was canceled last year is hitting up the Bottleneck. Yeah. Great show. Great act. A little bit worried about those pyrotechnics, though.
Right.
Yes.
Nobody likes a dead pedestrian.
Yeah, their second album was their best, and I think they got too popular. You know how that happens.
I do.
Rock stars get less jaded as they experience more success.
It happens.
It's like
to the best of us.
Right. And it's like, I'm just as unsuccessful as I've always been, and you guys are no longer matching my speed. What the H?
H-E double hockey sticks.
Yeah, like, fine, I'll walk down to the replay. I'm just naming Lawrence venues now. I was not actually trying to rank. Because I don't think I would rank the Bottleneck above replay.
No.
I mean, maybe it's a bigger venue, but ish. Because I got that back.
I think I've only been to the replay like once or twice.
Oh, yeah, it was a popular spot for my friends group back in the day.
Yeah.
When I lived out there, yeah. Oh, good old replay. They got all the old arcade games and pinball machines and stuff. Digging it. Dig that. There's a lot of those barcade style places. Have you ever checked any of them out?
Yes.
Go
those are fun.
Drink some beers and play some games that you remember from your childhood?
Yes.
When likely you weren't drunk playing them?
Likely.
Oh, man, I remember playing Ms. Pac-Man wasted when I was 6. It was great.
I'm still terrible at skee-ball, but I love it.
Skee-ball.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find a skee-ball at some of these places. Skee-ball takes up a lot of surface area.
Space, yeah.
But
yep.
I know some do. I mean, some of these places are almost like warehouse size full of old games and stuff.
Yeah. There's a place in downtown Omaha. I think it's called Beercade. And they've got tabletop games. So like 4 of you could play Donkey Kong or Pac-Man together, and you could play like against each other. Or you could do, as a team. And they've got skee-ball, and they've got Pop-A-Shop. And then they have a lot of video games that I don't necessarily recall. So I was like, okay, I'll still. And the people that were over there, they like really wanted to play those games. So I just hung out over by skee-ball and Pop-A-Shot and air hockey. I love air hockey.
Yeah, we had an air hockey table for a little bit when I was a kid. Not a massive one, one that's just like the size of like a foosball table, like that size.
Yeah, we had one of like a foosball air hockey.
It's pretty sweet.
Table, yeah.
Didn't play it enough. There's that kind of trade-off of like, how long are we going to keep this thing around if the kids aren't currently playing it? Even if it's in the basement.
I was just always like, this air hockey table is not as slick as the one at the mall. Yeah, because it's half the size and it's not glossy like the one at the mall.
You ever get your fingers smashed by the deal?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's a badge of glory right there.
Yep.
What happened to your finger? Air hockey.
I'm bleeding from air hockey. Get into a fight, like a hockey match style fight. Slugging each other, and they're like, oh man, this arcade has a penalty box. Fantastic.
Yes. Excuse me.
Are you going to be okay?
Oh, this is 10 times better than what I was last night.
Is this allergies?
Last night was bad. Yeah. Last night I even had to take my inhaler. It was
Take your time. Have some drinks. Have some water. Catch some breaths.
Maybe it's just because I'm talking. I don't feel like I've had any problems this morning.
Oh, okay. Dislodging something?
Yes. Sorry about that. And I took a good hot shower this morning, too.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Loosen stuff up.
Spit some good stuff out. That was great.
Oh, they call that a productive cough or something, right?
I don't know. I called it disgusting, but satisfying.
Or lung cookies.
Oh, yeah. I've heard those. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, it's great. It's kind of disgusting, but yeah.
Sorry, very gross. Sorry.
Yeah. So
feels so good once you get it out, though.
Right. Well, just a quick aside to say thanks for listening to our listeners, whether you're eating lung cookies or something else for breakfast. So how long? So you have allergy season for how long? How long do you experience this?
It's usually only like a week or two.
Oh,
and
really?
But with my allergies, I only have like a couple of really hard days. And then it seems like I sound worse than I feel. And right now I'm just having shortness of breath.
Yeah, man.
I know. I left my inhaler in the car.
Well.
So that's not good.
Well, at least you can just trot out there and get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe crawl out there and get it. How are you? Do you not have allergies?
No, As a kid, I really struggled with them a lot, hay fever or whatever, but, I have not really had issues since I just committed to popping a Claritin every single day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do Zyrtec every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out I guess I'm winning.
Yeah, you are. Look at you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Is Claritin the one that they check your ID and you can only buy so often? And
I think that's if you get Claritin D. I think Claritin D may have, what's the meth ingredient? Sudafed or whatever in it.
Okay. I think that's the one that my mom takes, because anytime she's running low and she's got a coupon, she's like, hey, I need you to go buy this for me. Like, okay.
Yeah, because I just take regular Claritin. Claritin D is basically the same thing, but they add like the decongestant action,
Oh, okay.
But it's just the regular old boring Claritin. Don't have to get a grown-up to open a case for me to get it or anything like that. Yeah. And boom, good to go for just pennies a day or something. But Claritin's not a sponsor. In fact, yes, I get the generic one. So, yeah. But yeah, it works pretty good for me. I really can't recall struggling too awful much. I guess if there's like airborne pollen or something. I mean, obviously all pollen is kind of airborne, but if there's like a really windy day, maybe some like grass clippings or something, maybe it can get me. But luckily, I've been in pretty good shape for a while now, and because that's obnoxious having allergies and mess with your eyes too, or no?
Yeah, mine is my ears. My ears and my nose, like my face. I have not been wearing makeup for the past couple of days just because I cannot keep my hands off my face and like rubbing my face and my nose. Mm-hmm. But my ears and having to wear headphones every day, that really bothers me. So if you'll see, one is sometimes cocked on and off the other. So, and I take turns because it just bothers my ears and that itchy throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it annoys the hell out of me. So I can only imagine the people who are around me hearing me go all the time.
Right. Like, oh, what are you doing?
Like, are you trying to get my attention? Is this one of those rude throat clearings? Like, nope, just trying to itch my throat.
The headphone thing, I've been a one ear on, one ear off person for the majority of my career because I've always been concerned about going deaf, basically, from wearing headphones, damaging your hearing.
Right.
There's this guy, sports guy in Lawrence when I worked in Lawrence, and I was doing news at the time, so we all shared like the same like news booth, there'd be people in and out of there, and you always had to be careful because you'd go in there and he would have the headphone juiced, all the way up. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm going to blow your eardrums out. Yep. And basically I got in the habit then of like, okay, make sure you always look at the headphone knob and make sure that thing's zeroed. I just like zero it out before I put the headphones on because I don't want to hurt my ears. And so
I agree.
I rotate back and forth, right ear on, left ear on.
Yep.
It's a thrilling thing for the listener to hear about, I'm sure.
Well, I have been told by my doctor that I have mom's hearing because I was very concerned about, I work in radio and I think I'm going deaf and I have to have people repeat things all the time and I have to see people's mouths and, I've had my hearing checked over and over and over and she's like, you just have mom's hearing. You got enough going on. You just can't hear everything. And I'm like,
oh,
okay, but I feel very deaf. So
that's an interesting diagnosis.
I think your tests are wrong.
Right. Yeah, that's a weird diagnosis, yeah.